What's up, guys? I'm Mega Bleeder back with another episode of Mechanical Mastery Plus. Today, I'm going to get you caught up with what I did between the episodes to kind of combat our lag. I'm going to talk about these guys behind us, and then we're going to get some stuff ready for the future. Let's get started. For starters, I went ahead and swapped out the integrated dynamics power cables here. I have a feeling that those were hurting us. And actually, everything seems to be running a little bit more smoothly now. So I think we just had too much integrated dynamics. Speaking about integrated dynamics, you can see here that I've got the Fluix researchers. These are the applied energistics villagers. They take a charger here to set them up. I got these guys made up. That way I can get Certus quartz, skystone dust, and Fluix dust. So in the last episode, or in the end of the last episode, I talked about switching over to refined storage, and I think that we're going to skip right into applied energistics 2. The only thing that was kind of keeping me from going straight into AE2 was the crafting recipe for the controller. The refined storage one is pretty much untouched. Then if you look at the applied energistics one, you can't craft it normally. You can buy it, or you can use the miniaturization crafting from Compact Crafting. And this takes a lot more resources than the kind of vanilla recipe. We can see here the quantum rings, chisel quartz blocks, sky stones, energy acceptor is not a big deal, but this is a lot more complicated recipe to use. I was hesitant to use AE2, but I went ahead and just kind of pulled the trigger and kind of went and got it done. So here is an AE2 controller, and I'll talk more as we get to use it and we get our new base set up. But this is going to be the brains of the operation for the new base. A couple things that I did modify our material stonework factory here to make a silicon. It was doing lava before, or obsidian before, but now it's crafting a silicon. I did make these add-ons here, which are pretty simple to do, and then these guys you just fill with latex. These are a lot easier to craft than the vanilla recipe, I suppose. Using the dissolution chamber, it's a lot faster in the fluid encapsulator. So we've got plenty of silicon here because we're definitely going to need that. If we come downstairs, I was really trying to figure out where the lag was coming from, so I replaced a lot of the chipped blocks with just the vanilla Minecraft versions. Over here we can see that things are running a lot more smoothly. If I can find a machine that's actually working, we can see progress bar here, nice and smooth, pretty much regular. If we forge TPS, our TPS is about the same, but it just works so much better. It doesn't feel crazy. Looking at my inventory, you can see the canteen, the configurator, and the personal shrinking device. I totally forgot this was in here. I set up a hotkey, so now we're just really tiny. We can get really small, and it makes it a lot easier to work in areas, especially when it comes to piping and stuff like that. We can really get down in here. Or maybe it doesn't work with the... Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working all that well with the hotkey. So we can shrink ourselves down, and we can like really get into some tight spaces, which makes it a lot easier to do wiring and piping and things like that, because we can actually get in here to modify some things in a lot easier fashion. I did tear down most of our storage over here. There's a small barrel that's hooked up just in case I need to interact with this system, but I did set up a really basic AE2 system. I did craft 2 controllers. I've got one here placed in the world, one in my inventory. I've got a disk drive with a 64K ME disk. Now these are a lot easier to use than the others. So there's the standard one, which is here, and it can only hold 63 types of items. But if you make the one from this AE2 things, it's very similar to the way the ones in refined storage work. So it's a lot nicer. You don't have to worry so much about managing the types. It can just hold 64,000 items, which is a lot nicer. To fill the canteen, because I was just looking for a better food source, you can actually just use rotten flesh. So that fills this up. And if I go ahead and cause some damage, and I need to heal, let's see if it'll let us heal. So now I can just eat from the canteen, and it'll fill us up. So that's a lot nicer. I did set up the compact crafting here. This is what we needed to be able to craft this guy. And we can see from the exploded view, we have to place down all of these blocks and then throw a vibrant quartz glass into there. So that's this setup. Coming downstairs, you can see that I've got some cables set up. These are ran over to our drawers, our drawer controllers, so we can see everything. There's another one over here that runs to the barrel for our mob farm. We've got another one over here that runs upstairs that can see our glowstone and ender pearls and blaze cakes. And I also upgraded our power storage to an ultimate energy cube. I upgraded the emerald furnaces because I felt like they were causing some lag, and since I took some of the integrated dynamics down and I took those furnaces out and replaced them with these thermo generators, the lag is a lot better. These just take a heat source underneath them, so the blazing crystal block, and then they're producing 560 forge energy per tick, which is nice. To make these, I did need to automate some of this energizing orb because I needed some energized steel, some blazing crystals, the spirited crystal. So these are some good items here, and I just have the modular router. So it's pushing down, and it also has a regulator augment, so it's only storing one item. So if I put blaze rods or anything like that in there, it'll just push one in, and then it automatically gets pulled out. Down here below, you can see I had some spirited crystals in there and some niotic crystals. I want to upgrade these from the blazing tier that I have now, which produces 200 FE per tick, up into the niotic tier, which is 400. Now this is the base energy production, and because it is on the block of blazing crystal, it's 280% efficient. So going off of that and just doubling it, going off where it is here, it's going to be double. So it's going to be what, 1,100 or 1,200 forge energy per tick, and we'll have 10 of those, so we'll be making about 10,000 energy per tick. I set up some crushing wheels because I needed these to be able to make, I was quickly making the Fluix dust. We can do it in the inscriber, the pulverizer, but really the fastest way is the crushing wheel here. And then I set this guy up with another energy cube and a lever just to be able to easily turn it on and off. And I think that is about it. We have another chance to eat from our canteen here. So yeah, now pretty much we're just waiting on the new base to get delivered. Is that it? That's the new base. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh my. What? This is huge. So this is the little model that they left me. Holy. This thing is huge. Holy cow, this thing is massive. Let's go in here. Oh, holy. Okay, so to be honest, I wasn't really expecting much of an interior, but it would have been nice. But I guess we're gonna have to deal with the interior ourselves? I don't know. Let's look down here. Whoa. Wow. This place is massive. This is definitely the largest base I've ever had. Yeah, probably by a lot. This thing is huge. Okay, so back here is like our engine. Oh, man. Oh, the ideas. Okay. Wow, look. Okay, so look, we've got like 3 floors here, but these are supposed to be like maintenance levels. Okay. Okay. I can see I've got some vision on what we're looking at here. This thing is huge. Look at the size difference. Look at the size difference. Let me turn the mini-map back on. I had turned this off. Look at the difference on our... We can't even see the whole thing on the mini-map. We cannot even see the whole thing on the mini-map. Wow. Okay. So... I mean, where do we get started? I guess the first thing that we need to do is like move over storage. I think the blocks that we're going to be using to decorate this will use the exchanging gadget from building gadgets to be able to exchange some of these. Yeah, this is just cobblestone. Okay. So we got a huge base. It would have been nice to have interior, but that's okay. This is huge. This probably took forever to do, but they just delivered it. No big deal. I mean, it cost us $1 trillion and a ridiculous interest rate, but that's something we can get paid back. You know, we've got almost $300 million, and we don't even really have a big setup at all, especially compared to what's here. We can really ramp up production and with a base like this. So I guess what I was kind of brainstorming on blocks that I'd like to use, and I've got some set up here. So this'll be fun. We'll have to set up these. We'll probably use the concrete blocks. There's a lot of different variations of stuff that we can use, so that should be pretty cool. And then also in engineer's decor, this would be fun to be able to use some of these. I think what I'm gonna have to do first is move over all of our storage items, and then we'll work on tearing this whole thing down. I am going to work on getting some of our items moved over. We're gonna have to start tearing things down, and we're gonna have to move over our power and our storage and get to work after that. I guess I'm a little bit overwhelmed on what we're gonna do with this whole thing, but I guess it's not a whole lot to do other than just get started. Okay, so now we have everything, all of our storage at least, moved over so we can see everything. Actually, there's one more. Do I have... Yes, a cardboard box. Actually, I don't think I need the cardboard box. So this guy I can pick up and carry. We'll just place right here. And another storage bus. So this guy is going to be negative 1,001. This guy is going to be negative 1,000 because I want everything to go in the drawers first, and this is still on 0. And then we just plop a cable down right there. Now we should be able to see all of our storage. We're using 3 channels, one for the controller, one for the drive, one for the barrel. I did go ahead and put some glass up here, that way it wasn't so claustrophobic. And now we can see everything in our system. And this is all of our all of our resources moved over. I did place an ender gate on the bottom of this. This is from Powa. It's just our current wireless energy solution. But what we're going to need to do, what I've been thinking is each one of these chunks, because it's really cool. This is chunk aligned. So we can see that these are chunk aligned. So I'll be able to put walls in and keep everything really well organized. But I'm thinking that kind of each one of these chunks or two chunks, things like that, will be rooms. So I'm going to have to install floors similarly to what I did here. I just use the same flooring that the builders did here. So we'll have floors. I'm thinking the main storage area is going to be here. And then we'll kind of branch off and we'll use the different floors for different things. And I think it'll be really cool. Actually, looking at it, I don't think this floor is supposed to be used for wiring, but that's okay. I think what we're going to end up doing is using a subnet. So instead of having just a line of controllers, we'll have P2Ps on our main controller network that will feed into a subnet that will pull all of our P2P connections off of. But what I'm thinking, as I was kind of looking around and playing around, down here in these areas, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 12 on each side. I think I might take each chunk to automate the resources that we already had automated, but just do it in a little bit more of a fun way. I'm not going to use integrated dynamics. It was fun to use at first, but it got so laggy that it became such a big problem. So like, let's say the iron, let's just take a bunch of these. That should be okay. And what we'll actually end up doing is, like, down here in this chunk, we're going to automate iron. And then we'll automate gold, copper, lapis, redstone, diamonds, zinc, tin, osmium, oops. Then we have lead, nickel, and silver. So in each one of these chunks, we'll set up a specific automating process to get those automated, and then we'll do the same thing with our other resources here. We'll automate everything. We'll automate our coal, we'll reset up andesite, some things like that, get cobblework set up. We might end up just using the material stonework factory, but I kind of like having something better than just than just one block solutions. This main area here, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is decorate it with some trees and grass and foliage and stuff like that. So this will be like our nice little courtyard that we'll be able to look at. And then back here is where I think we're going to do power generation. So I was trying to look into like the anatomy of spaceships, or, you know, kind of fantasy spaceships, and just trying to do some things like that. So we've got up here, this will be like our bridge. This will be our main area that we'll be looking at. And then we'll have, I think I'm going to, on these corners, replace these with glass as well. And these will be like navigation, also like navigation areas to be able to see from. So it should be a lot of fun. We're going to set up concrete automation, and to be able to create those concretes, we're going to need to be able to set up dyes. We'll use the dye mixer for that. The dye mixer, you have to feed red, green, and blue dye to be able to make all the different dyes. So that should be a lot of fun. What I'm going to do now is get more of these floors built out, and I'll probably move over our power, get that set up, and then I'll come back and update you guys on where we're at. Okay guys, so I didn't move over the power, but I did set up our concrete factory. So our light gray, gray, white, black, and purple concrete are now done. So this is it. This is the kind of color scheme that I like right now. This is just glowstone from rechiseled. But we can see here we've got a ton of white concrete, light gray, gray, black, and purple. I think these are going to be some of the main colors that I use. I don't have any purple in here just yet. I haven't quite figured out. This is just kind of the original. Look at that. I don't even have, there's a line missing right here of this light gray concrete. What I can do is go into the backpack, boom, pull it out, and get it fixed. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this is our little concrete making area. This will basically just run indefinitely. It's a completely enclosed system, so we're buying cobblestone. It's getting crushed into gravel, and down here crushed from gravel into sand. That gets moved here into this tier 1 crafter. And then over here, like for the white, we've got white tulips that we're just crushing. And then it's the same way going down the line. There's the azure bluette that's getting crushed here. Here it gets a little bit more complicated. We've got the white tulip coal. Coal is getting crushed into black dye. The white tulips get crushed into white dye. That gets turned into light gray. Over here, this is black concrete, so it's just coal into black dye, into the black concrete. And then over here, this one's a little bit more complicated. We've got poppies and lapis. The lapis is, or this one, I'm sorry, this one's the most complicated. We've got poppies that get sent into here, crushed into red dye, lapis that gets squeezed, and then the lapis gets crafted into blue dye, and that gets mixed in here into purple. So this is our concrete factory. This is going to sit and run, and we're going to use this to redo everything in here. So I'm probably going to need to put more storage upgrades in these, honestly, because 49,000 blocks is not going to be enough to replace everything here. This is a lot. And then what I'm actually looking at doing is this center area here and this one here are going to be like maintenance tunnels. So what I'll probably end up doing on this one is putting some sort of catwalk here that'll overlook our courtyard, and then there'll be some automations that we'll have set up in here. So yeah, this is the start. This is the start of it. We've got concrete that's just gonna keep on going. These I'll probably upgrade later. I just don't have the automation set up anymore to be able to make those augments, because those do take the regular mechanical essence. So we need to get that stuff set back up, and that's probably the thing that I'll do next, is get crafting going back on our money, because we currently have $0 coming in. So I'll probably set that up next, and I'm not sure where I'm going to do that. It'll probably be in this area. I think that's what I'll do. The essences that we need, these, I think what I'll do is craft these along here. So I'll start with the basic mechanical essence, and that'll start here, and then I'll just kind of work my way around, and then we'll fill up this whole entire area, because we're going to need a whole lot of materials. We're going to need mob farms. We kind of already had this set up a little bit, but we're going to make it better. This one takes refined fuel, fissile fuel pellets, so we're going to need a whole bunch of stuff set up. But yeah, we've got our base. We've got our base, or the shell of it at least. We've got concrete, so we can start replacing all of it. I'm pretty happy with this room. I would like to get some purple in here, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. I might just copy the structure of the room and kind of just paste it, and this will be our color palette, but I'm not 100% certain yet. But I did want to say thanks for stopping in, and I hope you enjoyed what we did today, and I hope you come back for the next one.